Golden Dome for America is game changer.
President Trump's Golden Dome plan might look simple here, but if the $175 billion missile defense shield is going to work the way he wants it to, the US will need to put technology into space that is incredibly complex. In some cases, we're talking about satellites that don't even exist yet.
The only time that I can think of in the history of the United States where we have gone after something this complex was the Manhattan Project.
In the short term, experts say we'll probably see more existing defense systems placed around the country. Long term, those systems will have to interact with hundreds of satellites that are supposed to detect, track, and eventually even intercept high-tech missiles from space. That's because competitors like China and Russia are racing to develop missiles that can maneuver and evade current defenses.
I think innovation is going to continue, and we can't imagine or predict what our competitor nations are going to come up with.
Here's what the Golden Dome could ultimately look like, and why some worry that it will fuel a dangerous arms race in space. To understand why officials say the Golden Dome is needed, you first have to understand how missile technology is advancing. We'll start with the Standard Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or ICBM, which travels in a high arc. This kind of missile, boosted by a rocket, travels to its peak hundreds of miles above the Earth, and then is brought down by gravity. ICBMs are very dangerous. They can carry multiple nuclear warheads and even be shot from submarines. But their trajectory is predictable, making them easier to detect and track with radar. So several defense systems are capable of shooting one of these down. Now, there's a newer and more dangerous intercontinental missile called the Fractional Orbital Bombardment System, or FOBS. These can fly much lower. This kind of weapon is launched into a partial or fractional orbit. Since it doesn't travel in a high arc, the weapon can fly under the radar for much of its flight. It's capable of reaching its target much faster, and crucially, it can approach from unexpected angles, meaning defenses don't know when or where it's coming down. Another newer threat is the Boosted Hypersonic Glide Weapon, which is an intercontinental missile that can maneuver and evade defenses. These missiles are launched into space and ultimately travel at extremely fast speeds, greater than Mach 5. And after they enter the atmosphere, they maneuver to their targets on a glide vehicle. Because they can glide at low altitudes and change course midair, they can be extremely hard to detect and counter. So, how will the Golden Dome help upgrade the US's defenses to counter these new threats? The US already has a network of satellites that scans for infrared signatures, so they can detect when and where missiles launch. But those satellites can't determine the type of missiles being fired.
The maneuverability, the gliding, the outmaneuvering of our defenses, those are all the challenges that we're trying to address. So we need a sensor layer that can keep track and custody of all of these objects as they are maneuvering.
A sensor layer, which the Pentagon has already been developing, is a network of tracking satellites that President Trump wants to expedite. By launching hundreds and eventually even thousands of sensors into orbit, the US says it will be able to detect and, importantly, track missiles as they maneuver and change course. Officials say the system will be able to calculate where a missile is heading so that defense systems can intercept it.
Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread unto thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord.